me, before an employer brings a care worker or a nurse or any type of skilled worker from, let's say, Africa or Asia to the UK, how much do you think that employer spends on this person before they're able to bring them to the UK? How much do you think it is? How much? Put your guess in the comment section. We're going to talk about it. Stop that. So hi guys, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Anel Griselda. On this channel, I talk about nursing, I talk about migrating to the UK, I talk about opportunities for people to relocate abroad and life in the UK as an immigrant in general. So if these are topics that interest you, please do consider subscribing. So we've heard that people are paying thousands of pounds to be able to get a certificate of sponsorship from an employer, which they can then use to apply for a skilled worker visa to come to the UK, mostly in the care sector. And guys, don't get angry in the comment section because this is not me saying it, it's even on the news. There are even documentaries about it, and I'll leave a clip for you to watch.
With legal migration to the UK reaching unprecedented levels, Sky News can reveal allegations that criminal gangs are putting people on planes and trafficking them by exploiting visas for skilled workers. We're calling this woman Mrs. A. When we meet, she's urgently seeking legal advice, claiming she's just one of the victims who handed over extraordinary amounts of money to come to the UK to fill Britain's job vacancies.
And sometimes they say that, well, the employers are paying too much, so the employers will have to pay this because these are the things that are required for me to pay, because these are the things that the employer has to pay to the Home Office or to immigration or whatever. But guys, is that really the truth? Ever since this care worker visa was added to the social occupation list, thousands of people have been able to relocate to the UK with their families through this route. And then for some people, they were very lucky. They came here without paying a dime to any employer, and they've been able to bring their whole families here. However, there are other people as well that are currently here, and let's say they've been here for a year and they are still paying the £10,000 debt that they borrowed from the bank back in their home country before they were able to come here. Some people also sold family properties just to be able to get this money to be able to pay whatever connection man or agent to be able to come here. And we've seen some of these things going on TikTok. People come here and then, they report the employers being arrested, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, how much are these employers even spending to get that certificate of sponsorship for you to come? Why are they charging all these huge amounts of money? Is it just greed, or they're really spending a lot on us? Not every employer in the UK can employ someone from overseas. To be able to do that, you need what we call a sponsor license. You apply for a license just as you're applying for, let's say, a driver's license. Home Office or UK Visas Immigration will check you to see that, oh, okay, you do need people, blah, 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 and then they'll give you the sponsor license to be able to recruit foreign applicants. For a medium to large company, you are going to be required to pay £1,476 to be able to get that license. And if you're a very small company or a charitable sponsor, let's say a very small care home somewhere in the corner somewhere, for you'll be required to pay £536 for the application. And you don't need to do this for each person. It's just the license that you need. I give an example of having a driver's license. Remember that once you get a driver's license, a DVLA or whatever, they check you and they say that, oh, you're a good driver, you can be safe on the road, and they issue you the license. You're not required to apply for driver's license again anytime you buy a new car. So you use that same driver's license to buy as many cars as you want because you're safe. The same with a sponsor license. You don't need to apply for a sponsor license for each applicant. But what I've seen is that I saw somebody's bill from the employer that the person was required to pay for the issue the person's skills of sponsorship. And the company had added their sponsor license fee. So that means if they are recruiting 50 foreign workers, all of you are going to pay this. Meanwhile, they paid it just one time. The only thing is that the sponsors, just like a driver's license, you're supposed to renew your license, right? But they renew it every 4 years and they pay the same amount. So that is it here. No matter how big you are, no matter how many people you are going to employ from Africa, you apply for the sponsor license and you pay the sponsor license fee once in 4 years. And another thing I have to add is that it is illegal for a company to charge you, the applicant, or the person going to work for them, to pay for their sponsor license. That is not your business at all. But without this, an employer cannot even grant you an interview. They don't have this. I'll leave a link in the description for you to check if an employer is a licensed sponsor to be able to give you a certificate of sponsorship for you to come to the UK. Okay, so I'll leave that link there. So that's the first cost. The next thing is the COS. We all know that the COS is called Certificate of Sponsorship. This is one of the most important documents that you need to be able to get a visa to come and work in the UK. Once you get the COS, you know that one of your foot is in the UK. Like you are almost here, just a few things left. And this COS, they have to apply for it for each person that they are hiring. The company has to apply for it. So for this one, it's £199. Yes, once and for all. Also for the COS, whether the company is a big company company or it's a small company, they are all paying £199. Okay. By the way, let me say this. If you're looking for a reliable money transfer app to send money from the UK, the EU to African countries like Ghana, Nigeria, and all these other African countries, I would recommend Transfergo. Transfergo is that app that is rated the best financial app on Trustpilot.com, guys. When you send money with Transfergo, in at most 30 minutes, the person is going to get the money. When you have any issues with the transfer, they have the best customer service, honestly, and they are regulated by the UK Financial Conduct Authority. They are very genuine, okay? And Transfergo is being used by over 4 million users worldwide. If you use an Android or an iOS phone, you can always still download Transfergo and make your first transfer now. And one amazing thing that Transfergo is now offering is the referral bonuses, guys. From now until the 30th of August, guys, you get unlimited £30 reward when you refer a friend. So when you download Transfergo app with a link in the description, okay, and then you make your transfer using my referral link or my referral code, you can also generate your own referral link from the app. Okay, there's a way to do that from the app. Okay, all you have to do is let your friend use the referral link that you generated and let them send about £100 between two currencies in the first 6 months that they sign up. And guys, you get £30 per each friend that you invite. Can you imagine? So if you have 20 friends, look at how much you're earning. The only app that offers this is Transfergo. Yes, they love us that much. Thank you, Transfergo, for sponsoring today's video. Now, we also have something we call the immigration skills charge. And for the immigration skill charge, this also depends on the size of the company. Okay, so this also has to be paid for each applicant. Okay, so for large companies, the immigration skills charge is £1,000 for the first 12 months and additional £500 for each additional 6 months. So that means like £1,000 for each year. So because usually skilled worker visas are given for 3 years or sometimes 5 years, let's use 3 years. If it's 3 years, you're going to be paying £3,000 for the person you are hiring. For small companies, they're required to pay £364 a year and £182 for any additional 6 months. That's what we call the immigration skill charge. And remember, they are paying this for each applicant, and this also depends on the size of the company. But let me add this: it is worth knowing that all these sponsorship fees must be paid by the sponsoring employer and cannot be passed on to the migrant worker. So it is illegal for them to charge you all this. So if they give you a bill and all these things are in, you can actually report them. Let's say some people also apply for the visa for you. At the moment, the visa is £247, especially if it's for those coming on the health and care worker visa. So I'll use that because most of my viewers are coming to work on a health and care worker visa. And for those whose COS has been issued for more than 3 years, this is around £479. But let's stick to the 247 because usually they give you for 3 years. Now let's talk about other add-ons. For instance, your English language certificate, your IELTS, those ones you cover it yourself. Even the visa, you are likely going to be asked to cover it yourself. And then let's say your tuberculosis test, all those things, they are just add-ons that an employer can choose to sponsor, but they really do not have to sponsor. Even the visa, they really do not have to. And then if you're coming to work as a health and care worker visa, obviously you're exempted from paying the health surcharge. So I'm not going to add this to it. Maintenance, obviously you need to prove to the Home Office that when you come, you have enough funds to take care of yourself. But this one, all the employer has to do is tick that they are providing maintenance on your COS, and that's it. You'll not be required to prove anything in your bank statement or whatever. But this one, they don't have to pay any money. They just have to take that on the COS. Other than that, you'd have to prove that you have at least £1,270 equivalent in your bank account to support yourself. If your family is larger, you need to prove even more money in your account. Let's look at how much an employer spends in total for one applicant. So if you're a small sponsor, you remember that the immigration skills charge fee, it differs when you are a large sponsor or you're a small sponsor, depending on the size of the company that's recruiting you, right? So we are not going to add the sponsor license because once they do it, it's for 4 years, okay? So we're not going to add that. So the COS is £199. Then the immigration skill charge, if it's a small sponsor, is £364 per year. So for 3 years, it's £1,092. And then the visa, let's say they decide to sponsor your visa, the visa is £247 if you're on a health and care worker visa. So in total, if you are being sponsored by a small company, they are going to spend £1,538 on you to be able to bring you to the UK. This is not inclusive of your tuberculosis test, your IELTS or your ECTS and your flights. No. Talking about the legal ones that they have to pay to Home Office or immigration to be able to bring you here. For a large sponsor, still they are going to pay a COS for each applicant at £199. Okay, remember we are not going to add a sponsor license fee because that one, once they do it, they don't pay again until 4 years. The immigration skill charge for 3 years for a large company is £3,000. And the visa, let's say they're paying for your visa application, is also £247. For a large company to bring you to the UK, you're going to spend £3,446 approximately on your application to bring you here. This is not including flights. This is not including accommodation that they'll give you. This is not including a refund of your English test and your tuberculosis and all that. No, this is just the basic legal ones that they have to sort out before they bring you here. So guys, this is it. Do you see anything close to 10,000? If an employer is charging £10,000 to bring you because they say they're paying this, they're paying this, they're paying this, they are making over 100% profits on that. Were you able to guess this right? Explain to me again why, because of desperation, you have to pay £10,000, sell your family property to be able to get a COS to come. Because first of all, remember that the giver of the bribe and the receiver or the recipients of the bribe are all guilty. So legally, you're not supposed to be paying these amounts of money, except the visa. You're not the one supposed to pay for the COS. You're not the one supposed to pay for the sponsor license fee. You are not the one supposed to pay for the immigration skills charge. They are supposed to pay for, and this is law. So you are as guilty as the person receiving it because you know. And when you come here, you are fished out because now lots of employees are under investigation. You can be in trouble. Okay, I'll leave all links for you to read further in the description. Thank you so much for watching.